Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Frank Engelbert. I'm your friendly ARIS neighborhood expert from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm going to show you today a new ARIS 10 feature called Read and Understood. This is a really great feature, and let's get right into it. ARIS Read and Understood is also known as confirmation management. It's the same thing, just two slightly different names for the same thing. And it is a business workflow. It's not a technical workflow. It's a business end user workflow that asks model stakeholders, for instance, employees, workforce, process participants, to confirm that they have read the content of the model, that they have understood the content of the model, and that they will adhere to the content of the ARIS model. It's kind of an electronic signature that people do, that you ask your stakeholders to do, and it's not done once, it's done repeatedly. Every time the model changes, you can request your stakeholders for a renewed confirmation. This is most typically, but not exclusively, applicable to business processes because they represent organizational ways of working. And what it does, it takes graphical models and it elevates their value to becoming really important. And it does so by making them relevant. And it does so by asking stakeholders to make sure that they have read and understood. That's the mechanism to make graphical models important and relevant to wider audiences in organizations. This is a screenshot of read and understood. And it here says on the right-hand side before confirmation, on the left-hand side before confirmation, on the right-hand side after confirmation. And you'll notice it has this, let me just start my pointer right here. It has this nice blue box that is inserted on top of the screen. And that's where it asks stakeholders, users to confirm that they have read and understood. You can very nicely design your own message that you want to roll out to your stakeholders, depending on purpose, and it currently has a confirmation status set to new, and once this is confirmed via this confirm button right here, this status will change to confirmed and will have a light green color to show the change. This is now the overview of the model that you see here, and this is just one way of going about it. You could also do the same thing if you use the actual model view, or as Connect calls it, the diagram view. Exact same thing, you have your confirmation message, you click this button, and then it becomes confirmed. And this is just a different view, taking advantage of ARIS Connect rendering capabilities. Now, what else can you do with this? You can also track or trace who has performed these read and understood workflows and who has not. What you see here on the left-hand side, you're now looking at the confirmations tab in regards to one specific model. So this is an example of a business process that, let's say, was updated with certain COVID-19 changes. And here you can see that there's one user, happens to be my example demo user, who has performed this confirmation, giving it a thumbs up, and all the others have not yet confirmed. So this means status open, outstanding, and all these users will have a number of days, let's say 29, or a month, or a quarter, or a year. You can define this setting flexibly to perform this read and understood workflow task. That's not all. You can also do this globally. You have like confirmation dashboards out of the box with ARIS 10, SR12. And you see here that these confirmation dashboards automatically pick up this business workflow content automatically. So this right here is the example confirmation that you see here. This is the COVID-19 business process that we showed in the previous slide. And it says 90% open and 10% done. So we have 10 users, one has performed it, meaning 90% are still open. And this is an example of how this example workflow feeds into the dashboard. And I'm going to show this to you directly in the tool now. So let me just switch over to the product. Give me just 1 second. All right, here we are. This is ARIS Connect. I'm logged in as Frank the Expert, the ARIS expert right here. And I'm going to navigate to one of my processes that I want to schedule a confirmation for. I have already created an example process for COVID-19. Let's find this one. There it is. So this is our business process. It's already confirmed because I've done this before. Let's click this one away and let's click on diagram. So this is a very simplified process. Any business process essentially. This is a business rule that was kind of designed to fit to COVID-19 as a situation. And I'm now going to go onto this tab right here, confirmations. And you see we already have a number of confirmations right here. But let's create a brand new confirmation to explain the process from scratch. What you see on the right-hand side, there is a button that says Create Confirmation Process Scheduler. Click left on this, and then it opens this window with 3 different tabs. First of all, you can give your confirmation a name. I'm going to call this one Confirmation of Business Process and just ARIS. Just ARIS, that's good enough so we can find it by name. I can schedule a duration right here. So this is a mandatory field. I'm going to say make this 30 days. I can schedule this to be repeatable. I'm going to say frequency one-off just for purposes of this demo. I'm going to say I don't need an end date because it's one-off. And now I'm going to assign this to user. So I can say who is supposed to confirm or receive a confirmation task for this particular diagram or business process. And I'm just going to select one user myself to keep it simple. So this one right here, I'm going to click on Add. And now this will be the user to whom this confirmation workflow is applicable. Next, I'm going to go to the Content tab. This is again important because this is your confirmation text. And this text should fit your situation or your purpose. So I'm going to completely change this and I'm going to use the following confirmation text. I hereby confirm that I have read and understood this process and changes to it and will adhere to it in the course of my daily work. Good. This one is just a kind of view that we can look at later. For now, we're good. So I'm going to click Save and Close. What you will notice, it says Scheduler Activated Object Saved Successfully. Now we need to do one more thing to actually properly start this. And this is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to now take you to how this scheduling or task process works under the hood. So what I'm showing you now is I'm going here to the ARIS Risk and Compliance Manager, sister product of the ARIS family. And I'm going to now perform a manual confirmation task. This would typically be scheduled as a batch process, so you don't have to do it manually like I'm showing right now. I'm just showing it to make you understand what the entire process is. So there we are, confirmation management. I'm clicking on generate. Again, this will be done under the hood for you based on timestamps and automatically scheduled. And it should say here 1 object edited, 1 object created. So I should now be good. I can come back here And all I need to do is come back to the diagram tab and do a browser refresh. And then we should have a nice confirmation task viewable right here. And there it is. So confirm by, this is the name that we gave it. This is the confirmation message that we gave it. And I can now say, as this user ID, I can now say accept. And there you go, confirmed status. And we can now, we or anyone with the proper privilege can now come to this confirmations tab and can look at this particular business process confirmation. And we'll see that under confirmations, we now have this traceability, this audit log, this GRC type audit trail, where it says that this particular user right here has confirmed on this particular date and has properly performed their confirmation task as accepted. So that's good. That's how you create or schedule a confirmation task from scratch. That's how you accept a confirmation task. And to close the loop, let's come back to the main view of ARIS and let's go to the dashboards. So there are some out-of-the-box dashboards right here. I'm interested in the second one, confirmation management overview. And there you'll see this now automatically picks up these workflows. And we should have an example that we just created. There it is at the very bottom, update ARIS. So this is the one, and it says open 0%. Let's zoom out a little bit. And it says here, so the timestamp is not totally correct, but it says it's not open anymore. I'm sorry, the end date is actually correct, but it says it is confirmed basically. So this now kind of got into this confirmation management dashboard by us just simply completing or performing this confirmation management task. This completes my product demo of the ARIS confirmation management. I'd like to have a few closing words, so let's go back to the slide deck and I'll see you there in a second. All right, so what else is there to say about confirmation management? What I showed you was an example for a business process confirmation. There is actually more that can be confirmed. For instance, you could do business strategy modeling in ARIS, and there as well you could ask for confirmations of your enterprise workforce to make sure they have read and understood management's business strategy. Or you could be designing solution architecture artifacts as ARIS models, and you could ask your developer population to confirm that they have read and understood those before they go about developing them. So let's see, one last thing, a few final thoughts and some experience I wanted to share with you. So this read and understood is actually an important feature as part of the entire ARIS platform. And it kind of fits into the life cycle after modeling, after process approval and APG. Then you would go about read and understood. And that's almost kind of a prerequisite before you go about measuring process performance or process mining. Read and understood is useful for organizational change management, training, process compliance, as I just showed, asking your tech people, your developers to sign off on solution artifacts. Very relevant for strategy, communication and adoption, governance, risk and compliance, and regulatory compliance. And in easy terms, confirmation management is about saying what you do and doing what you say, in the sense of you design, you model, you describe, you document your work, and then you follow that work. You hold yourself accountable to following your own best work that you could do. And if the work or the model does not reflect your work, you have to use the ARIS collaboration feature to make sure that this model gets properly improved with your own best practices. Confirmation management also completes ARIS as a digital management work system where work is defined, collaboratively improved, and followed. And I can tell you from the US field, from customers and prospects I've been demoing this to, everybody likes it. It takes every new or existing ARIS customer 5 minutes to understand this. Once they understand it, it takes them 30 seconds to love it. So the feedback is very, very positive, impressively positive. And I'm going to leave you one last question, and that is a quiz question. How do you make graphical models valuable? And I'm going to give you a few seconds to come up with an answer for that. So let's pause for a few seconds. How do you make graphical models valuable? Got it? Okay, so my reply to this would be you make graphical models valuable by making them relevant. And how do you make them relevant? You make them relevant by using the read and understood feature. So this is a true killer feature. I hope you liked this presentation. I've been Frank, the ARIS expert. It was nice virtually meeting you all. I hope to see you at some point in the field. So thank you very much. Good to have you on the team of the ARIS ecosystem. Thank you very much for now, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.